Welcome back to Pewdiepie. I'm Zui and I hope you enjoyed today's video. But before we get right into it, I'm obligated to remind you to click either the like or dislike button, commenting something down below, and of course sharing the video so more people can see and enjoy it. This is very important as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. I want you to know that your help is greatly appreciated. If you have any suggestions or ideas for a story, my Discord link is in my link tree that is down in the description, as well as my Patreon and Ko-fi for any donations you may want to send my way. Every cent counts. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. You were excited. It was your first day, or, well, night, working alone as the night guard of the Fazbear Entertainment Mega Pizzaplex. With how many times this place had been rebuilt because of fires and sinkholes, they seriously needed to make that name a little bit longer. You had started working here a few months ago, as a fresh newbie night guard. Your internship was pleasantly short, just 2 weeks, before you were offered a job. While officially no training to be a night guard was required outside of watching a quick job training presentation video, the leader of the day shift guards, Brian Chesterwell Crawford, made sure you're not thrown into the fire unprepared. And thank God he did. The man was a people person and could immediately tell how uncomfortable you were around adults. So he signed you up for the night shift. For a few weeks, you had then worked with one of the Pizzaplex's shift guards, a big Russian guy everyone just called Terminator. But his real name was Dimitri. He was nice, albeit really rough and blunt, and his way of dealing with the animatronics was, as he called them, the machines, was very violent. However, finally, tonight, you were alone. Your chest heaving with pride. You had slept the entire day just to be fresh and ready for the night. Sure, this wasn't a prestigious job, and considering how lackluster the official training was, seriously, one video? Not to mention the low pay, it would at least cost you. No shouting people, no vomit on the floors, just you walking around an empty building at night. Filled to the brim with stuff, and great stuff it was. Due to reasons, most lights were off, but enough left on so you didn't really need your flashlight. You walked down the alley of Rockstar Row. While a security guard was on night guard duty, they had a small checklist of things they needed to do by the end of the night, no matter what. Number 1. Make sure the Glamrock animatronics were inside their green rooms for the morning presentation. 2. Locate, identify, exterminate any leftover stains that haven't been discovered by the janitors during the day and send a janitorial staff bot to deal with it. 3. Complete a minimum of 3 patrols. There were 5 patrol routes designed by Brian for convenience. He called them the lazy river of work. The cameras of the Pizzaplex picked up how far a night guard traveled on each patrol and would automatically register when the night guard wandered around was considered a patrol. 4. Taser, detain, call police on any intruder. Not that that would ever happen though. Especially with guys like Brian and Terminator being known to work here. The leader of the guards always being armed with a crowbar he held like an anime protagonist wielded a katana. And the most prominent shift guard Terminator just being a gentle giant who went toe-to-toe with the robots on an almost nightly basis. You blinked suddenly and grinned. You felt like you were trapped in an RPG with hot guys all around you. You continued your patrol, mentally now playing cheerful chiptune music in your head. Maybe your specialty was having an overactive imagination. Would that make you a wizard? You pulled up your work tablet, checking cameras just in case. You knew from your co-workers, once the animatronics were locked in their green rooms, there was nothing to fear they couldn't get out. But you just wanted to make sure. Freddy was lying in his bed, his eyes turning to various colors, like a gamer PC. Clearly he was deeply in thought. As per usual, Monty's cam was off, but you could hear arcade noises. He was probably trying to raise his Tetris high score. Roxanne was doing something interesting though. Despite her being a robot, she was uselessly doing gymnastics of all things by herself. Interesting. Lastly, Chica was in her charging station with her eyes closed. Everything was normal. However, it was just then when suddenly someone crashed through a door. A mechanical voice called out. Concerned, you pulled out your taser and approached. It was the daycare attendant in his moon form. Rockstar Row was a little darker than most of the Pizzaplex, so it made sense. But why was the robot here?
Night guard,
growled the robot as he got on his feet. He was leaning left to right excitedly.
Son is looking for you.
Why didn't you send my tablet a notification then? You didn't need to leave the daycare.
I know.
The robot raised both hands defensively.
But I saw it as a chance to walk around for a bit. And get rid of that stupid song for a while.
Uh-huh. You approached the robot while putting your taser back. You scared the living daylights out of me, by the way. The robot didn't respond by talking. He just pulled out a piece of paper with the text, "Night Guard, I need to tell you something." What do you need to tell me? You asked. Moon shrugged sheepishly.
By Afton, how should I know?
You two are the same person. The animatronic's head turned upside down.
But where would the fun be in that? How about it, Night Guard? A game of tag. If you catch me, I'll go to a more lit up area on my own, and you can ask Sun directly.
Without you being able to protest, the robot zipped off. You could practically see the cartoony cloud he left behind. Not up for games, you immediately cheated and pulled out your security tablet. You slowly walked behind him, guiding him into a security office where you could see him hide under the desk, waiting for you to walk past him, probably to jump scare you. You simply pressed the big red lockdown button. The doors of the office shut closed and you looked through the window as the robot crawled from under the desk. He pressed his big moon face against the glass, his eyes glowing in a threatening dark blue. No wonder kids were afraid of him. You used the messenger app to send a direct text to him. I would consider this a gotcha. His head slowly ticked to the right until it made a full 360 turn. Ah, terrifying, you typed sarcastically. Finally, the robot responded in the text messaging app.
You win.
In the messaging app of your security tablet, you opened the door and defeated the robot left.
Fine, newbie. Just follow me.
Surprisingly enough, Moon walked towards the maintenance tunnels. You said
that I would go in the light. Yes, we are going to parts and services.
You blinked. Why?
Because of what Sun wants to tell you. Trust me, I'm making this easy for you. Because of how creatively you won our little game of tag, newbie.
Quietly you walked behind the robot through the damp, dark maintenance tunnels, dodging the many staff bots who were busy doing staff bot things, like cleaning, charging themselves, ordering crates. The simpletons never stopped working, did they? Finally, you entered parts and services.
Turn off the light, so I can enter this place. And I'll explain.
You walked over to the light switch as Moon strapped himself into the operating table.
Now, here's the thing. What Sun will show you will require a bit of maintenance.
You blinked. I'm not qualified. At least not yet. Kevin is busy. The robot sighed.
This needs to be done before the place opens. Be creative, Night Guard. Turn on the light. You'll know what to do, eventually.
You switched the lights on. The robot shuddered on the table as his magnetic hat fell off to the ground, and his sunny spikes shot out of the sides of his face.
Oh boy!
Shouted the robot. He looked around.
Wait, where am I?
Finally, Sun noticed you by the light switch.
Oh, hey, newbie! I need to ask you something.
He mused. Slowly you approached, concern on your face. Yes, Sun? He giggled.
I need to know what a word means. I learned it just today.
A horrifying thought came to you. Go ahead.
What does fuck mean?
The obvious answer was when a mommy and a daddy really like each other and were quite kinky, they would... You shook your head. That would probably be too much for the machine. You scratched the back of your head.
Is it a bad word? Did my friends teach me a bad word? Why did they teach me a bad word?
You sighed. You knew from your employee manual and the video presentation that it was absolutely forbidden to teach animatronics curse words. The only exception were Roxy and Monty, as their built-in profanity filter allowed them to say one curse word per week, to stay PG while still being the cool, edgy teenage robots. This meant, however, that Sun, for example, had a rather weak profanity filter himself, as he could not say curse words on his own unless someone taught him. And then you understood why Moon wanted to be down here. You needed to remove the knowledge of the word fuck from the robot. How the hell would you do that? But first, you needed to calm down the machine. You huddled into the protective dome where you gently placed a hand on Sun's tummy. That word is really bad, Sunny, my boy. But, don't worry. Mama Nightguard can fix this, okay?
Are you going to wash up my mouth with soap?
You blinked. That sounded like something Brian would do as a joke. No, I'm not. Mentally you added, I'm going to do something much worse. You then walked over to the maintenance computer and were dumbfounded. You knew enough to know that the removal of animatronic memories required this thing. Now how the hell would you do that? Maybe you should call someone? Using the emergency call function of your tablet, you called Brian. He was the only one you could call as a security guard after all, without it being a true emergency like a fire. Maybe you could connect you to an engineer? Maybe Kevin? The phone got picked up, but no one answered. Brian? He asked. What? The man sounded angry. Hey, evening. He didn't respond. You probably just woke him up. So, I have a problem. Sun says... fuck. As if to underline the issue, the robot shouted,
Fuck!
Brian snorted and then burst out into full-on laughter. It took the man a few seconds to calm down.
Alright, newbie.
I got you. Don't worry about it. Just give Uncle Brian a second to wake up. It took the man 5 minutes to say something again. Okay. Let me think. Basic memory removal, something all security guards need to be able to do. It's like a 4-step thing. It's really easy. Got it? You listened carefully to Brian's explanation. First, you pulled up Sun's audio logs. It was a simple program that recorded every conversation the robot had. It was used for market research and to find any misdeeds. Brian explained how you could search for specific words. Obviously, you typed in the F word. You were greeted by a long text exchange. Okay, I need to like visualize the keyboard in front of my inner eye. Okay, I got it. Press the V button on the keyboard to have him repeat sections. You just click around the hour mark where he learned the word. Got it? You press the button.
What word?
Said the robot, and for a moment he looked at you.
I didn't want to say that.
Okay, seems like you found the start. Press it again. You gasped when you heard Brian's voice come from the machine.
Well, little buddy, that's this word.
Have you heard?
Heard what?
Oh, you haven't heard? I was under the assumption everyone has heard it.
Tell me, Brian.
A bird. A bird is the word. You bit your lower lip. Brian? What the fuck?
Fuck!
See how easy it is to say that word in this job? Take that as a lesson, kiddo. Chuckled Brian over the phone. Now, after a moment of you just being done with everything, you press the V button one final time.
Fuck, son, it's so fun to mess with you, little buddy,
said Brian's voice from the robot.
I found it, you piece of shit.
You growled into the phone. Sweet, said Brian. You did this on purpose, didn't you? Ignoring what you said, he continued. Now you selected 10 minutes around the instance of me saying the F word and us discussing it, and then you press delete. You followed his order, albeit with a terrible feeling. You felt as if you should preserve this to show it to your boss Amir. But after a few seconds, Brian continued. And let's pretend this never happened, newbie, got it? Fine. You didn't want bad blood between you and him, not yet at least. You pressed delete. I'm guessing that click and the silence means it's done. Okay, now hit the save button and then the progress button. Process button. Yeah, process. Sorry, still a bit, anyways. After you did that, after you press the process button, the arms of the protective dome will do the rest. Don't worry about it, it's all automatic. Doing as you were told, you watched as the doors of the protective dome closed, and the arms slowly removed the daycare attendant's facial plate. Then one of the arms inserted itself into a strangely shaped jack, and the robot vibrated. And after about 10 seconds, the entire spectacle was already over. The arms retreated, and Brian gave a pleased, "Good job, newbie. You're natural." Uh-huh, you growled.
Hey, what am I doing here?
Cried Son. He pushed against the restraints.
Oh no, am I being dismantled?
Oops, looks like he's getting emotional. Do your suppression thing. My what?
Hey, newbie! I'm not being dismantled here, am I?
Suppression matters. Every guard has one. You blinked. Wait, was that why Terminator beat up the robots?
I'm not gonna punch him. Punch me? But I didn't do anything!
Everyone has one. Be creative. Come on. I believe in you. As if to aggravate you even more, Brian just hang up with a cheeky good night. With a concerned face, you approached the panicking Son. Shh! You're not being dismantled.
But why am I down here then? Why are the arms moving?
They weren't moving. He was just imagining things. Suppressive measures. You kept thinking, desperately. Wait. Brian whistled and got animatronics' attention almost instantly. but you couldn't really get his high note. Terminator used a perfectly timed punch, obviously. Was that it? Was that a suppressive measure? What was your special measure? Your mind wandered, quickly going back to your imagination. There was the warrior Dimitri, the roguishly handsome Bard Brian, and you, the newbie. Without much hesitation, you lowered your head, gently pressing your lips on Sun's forehead. The robot almost immediately stopped squirming. Instead, he just lied there, as if you just turned him off. You, however, continued the kiss, until the robot sighed happily. Slowly, you moved your head away from him. The robot's head now happily spun from left to right.
Oh, I get it now. You're just repairing me. Oh, you're so talented, newbie. I love you.
If the robot could blush, he would.
And that kiss. Yeah, that was sweet of you. No one ever kissed me so lovingly before.
You smiled and blushed ever so lightly. Everything for my little robots, right? There was Brian the Bard, Dimitri the warrior, and you, the seductive newbie witch.